Hey. Happy 50th
Hey,
episode.
Happy 50th
You know
episode.
what? Let's lift our glass of
Cheers.
wine.
Hold on, I gotta
Cheers
get it. There
to
we go.
you.
Cheers.
Cheers
Look
to
at
me.
us.
Cheers to John.
Good job, guys.
We did it. And we're famous.
Oh.
No.
Well,
That's okay.
someday. I'm Jess.
I'm Janice.
Welcome to Haunted
Bunk. Hi.
Someday.
Oh my God. On our 50th, I nailed
Did
Welcome to Haunted by Right in
it.
unison.
Good job.
That was perfect.
So we're switching things up today.
Mm-hmm.
But before we start, I have to talk about it. I'm sure this doesn't matter anymore. But
Boop, boop,
Did you hear-
doll update?
doll update. Did you hear about the haunted Stoneham doll that just randomly showed up?
Yes, but only because you've now told doll things on this podcast. So now people send doll things to me, and
Yep.
I'm like, I haven't done a doll story.
I saw it myself, and then I had like 4 people send it to me that day.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, I saw it.
yeah,
It's crazy.
it's a pretty fantastic.
So
story.
creepy looking.
Yes.
Like, ay. And like, wasn't it like left at a police station or something? Like someone found it and then someone found it on the
Yep.
street and brought it to the police station.
Right.
And
Somebody had thrown it away.
oh
and
yeah,
then
it was in like the trash.
somehow it fell out of the trash. And somebody found it outside the trash on the sidewalk or something.
Why would you bring it to the police station?
I have no idea.
I'm not
because
touching that thing.
I'm not touching it for sure.
If that is in someone's trash, it's there for a reason.
It's either haunted by ghosts or germs, and
Yeah.
I don't want either.
Correct.
I'm not touching a horrific sidewalk doll.
Yeah, why are you like, oh, that shouldn't be in the trash.
Yeah.
That should be in the police
You know
office.
what? I'm actually on my way to the Stoneham police office, so I'm going to bring it.
You're going to want this doll. Yeah.
Imagine being in the police station.
Someone's like, here.
Here.
Yeah, it's wild. Wild. But it's probably over this pop culture
know.
moment, but I'll post him. But
I actually think it only like circulated on local
sure,
media.
that's true.
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
we'll post the picture,
Mhm.
and like if we have people, I think we have some people
Oh,
listening in
true.
Texas
That's
and
right.
Florida.
That's
They
right.
might not know.
That's right. I will post him. He's frightening. They call him the Stoneham Chucky doll because he's got orange hair, and I
Mhm.
don't believe there are any eyeballs in his head.
No,
I think that is a fact.
I believe there's evil in his head.
So anyway,
So we're doing things a little different. We're not going
Mhm.
to do pop culture.
nope.
And I'm a little sad because I was really, when I was getting ready today, I was like, I wonder what the Jess question will be. And then I forgot, no, we're doing
Well,
something.
it's gonna be movie quotes anyway. But
Oh, okay. So
Well-
Jess question next week.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Since it's our 50th,
Mhm.
we're each going to tell a little mini haunted story.
Personal
A personal
to our person,
to our person.
in our
Like,
lives.
Mine is from a coworker. I think John's is from his friend, but yours
is my dad.
is your dad.
Mhm.
So
Not my dad.
what?
So not my dad.
No, her dad is not the ghost.
He has not haunted me yet.
When he does,
Rich.
it's
Richard.
gonna be good.
Get on it.
It's gonna be. Your dad will probably haunt me as like a joke to
No,
you.
my mom would do that.
Yeah, she'd be like,
Yeah.
Janice.
She's like,
I'd
heard.
be like,
Yeah.
you son
Watch
of a
out
bitch.
tonight now. She's coming.
Cece, don't. Just
Do not.
don't. I'll have coffee with her in my dream.
Oh, that's nice.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Don't spook me, girl.
Good luck. All right.
Anyway.
Are you going first?
No, you're going first.
Oh, okay. So my dad was in a very popular wedding band around the South Shore for most of my childhood. So on top of that, he used to do like small little gigs around town. So he was in like a tiny little band at a Newport Mansion house party.
Mhm.
So their band's taking a break and he goes upstairs to use the bathroom, and outside of the bathroom on a bench is this woman just kind of like sitting there staring off, and he's just like, waiting and being like, he's like, so are you going to go in there? And she kind of like looks up, like picks her head up, looks at him, and she shakes her head no. And he's like, all right, this is really weird. So he goes and uses the bathroom, comes back down, he's drinking his beer, walking around. He's walking around the mansion and he looks and there's a portrait of the woman on the wall. And he goes, all right. He's like, that makes sense. So it was, I don't know if it was her house originally or what, but he came home the next day and was like, saw a ghost.
Or maybe like something sad and traumatic happened to her in that house too.
Oh, maybe.
Poor Claire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's sad for Claire.
It is.
Yeah. That seems very much like an Are You Afraid of the Dark
episode.
Yeah.
I just love that my dad was like, all right.
Yeah.
Well, they've gone through the Ouija boards, so
yeah,
he doesn't care. No.
Par for the course.
He's like, this is fine. This is way better.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. That was one of my favorites. My dad has another one too. Does he? Yeah, I think so. I'll save that one. But
you want to save it?
Yeah, because I have to remember.
Save it for 100.
Hey.
So I was with a coworker the other day, and he's like, hey, I randomly listened to one of your episodes, and he's like, about the Bermuda Triangle, and I'm like,
Bridgewater?
He's starting at the yes, thank you,
thank
you so much.
Did not do that.
About the Bridgewater Triangle, which is, I think we did it one of our early like first or second, I think, right?
Well, that was the lost episode, and then I redid it.
And then we redid the Lost number 1.
Yep.
And he grew up in the Taunton area, and he gave me 3 little tiny stories. So he said one time he and his friends were driving home from the bar late at night, and they were driving on, what was it, Route 44?
44.
Yep, they were driving on 44.
He did not see this man.
He did not see the hitchhiker, but I don't know though, because he said he saw, it was 1 a.m, it was raining. They saw this guy on the side of the road riding a bicycle, and they all drove by and they were like, that's really weird. And when they all turned fairly immediately to be like, what's this dude doing on the bicycle? Gone.
Ooh.
And he was like, I had always known that weird things happen on Route 44, and that was something. And he said they all just kind of like turned back around and no one said anything.
No. What are you supposed to do?
They're all also like 22-year-old dudes.
Yeah.
And they're like, don't talk to your friend about the ghost that you just saw on the bicycle.
Do not bring it up.
Don't bring it up. And then he told me that the house that he grew up in used to be a hospital.
Oh, no.
Ladies and gentlemen,
no.
Don't move into the place that used to be a hospital.
No.
But it was like clearly not one of those huge like brick hospitals. It was like
I feel like that makes it worse.
Yeah, like a small little tiny local doctor's office hospital kind of place. And he said it was haunted from the time he was a kid growing up. And so he said he used to be in his basement playing video games, and he would hear all the furniture in the kitchen, all the furniture moving all around, and he was the only one home.
Nope.
He would go upstairs, all the furniture, all the kitchen tables and chairs would be moved all around. He'd put them back. He'd go back downstairs. All the furniture would move again.
Nope.
And he'd go upstairs, very poltergeist.
Yep. And
it would all be moved again. And so he's like, so I just got to the point where I stopped moving it, you know? He's like,
I'm not cleaning up after these people.
Again, this is very, very like par for the course for my coworker. He's like, so, you know, it's just, that's how things were, you know? And then that attitude brings me to my final thing is he started dating this girl who's now his wife. And so he was still living at home, and she would come and stay over. And one time in the middle of the night, she got up to go to the bathroom, and in their bathroom, they also had their laundry.
Okay.
And she just saw a figure sitting on the washing machine in the bathroom. And she came running back, and instead of Rob doing anything, he goes, oh, well, now I said Rob's name. So Rob told me the story, but he told me I could share. And he's like, oh, yeah, stuff like that just happens.
That would be me. I'd be like, sorry.
sometimes you're gonna see some haunted stuff in this house.
My house growing up was so fucked. I swear it's all because my parents did the Ouija board.
Probably.
I had 2 houses growing up, and whatever it was came with us. It wasn't like terrifying, but I got stories. And
Yeah.
my cousin, when my parents passed and we were cleaning out the house, my cousin was like, I never wanted to go in there. I hated it so much. Like, everyone had a story about that house.
Mm-hmm. Scary. All right. We're passing the mic to John because John's not getting on camera, but he's sharing a story. And while you're passing the mic, at some point we've got to talk about John's house growing up. He had Ouija boards in his basement.
I actually did not know that. So.
You sure did.
All right, it's good.
We got to talk to Uncle B.
I knew the basement was
your basement. I had a scary basement. They only lived like blocks from me. Their basement was horrifying.
It was like the Home Alone basement times.
Like the Home Alone basement, like if you're watching Widow's Bay, like the basement from Widow's Bay. Like, I was like, people have been just haunting this place for years and years.
Yeah, I always just felt like someone was just hovering over me every time I was down there. And then to take out the trash, you had to go down, like, you had to open up a door, and it was an alley that went outside.
Yeah. We got to talk to your mom. There was definitely not just one Ouija board, several Ouija boards in that basement.
I had no idea about that. That's insane. All right. So I have a buddy who used to work at the Boston Public Library in Copley, which is very well known to be pretty haunted.
Oh, yeah.
So he worked on the 3rd floor where he was cleaning.
Yeah.
And so pretty much how it goes is one long hallway where there's like a community room with like a bunch of tables and chairs. And then at the very end are 2 offices. So when he gets up out of the elevator, he goes right into the first room. And he just pushes all the chairs under the table, pushes them in, cleans up a little bit, turns the light off, goes down to the end of the hallway to like grab the trash from the offices and shut the lights off and do all that. So he has to turn the light off at the very end of the hallway and then has to walk back to the elevator. So there's only like one light, and it's like the elevator light. So he walks back. And he thinks like everything's normal. It's just dark. It's just spooky a little bit. And then he looks to his left as soon as he gets to the elevator in the room. Yeah. And sees every single chair from all 3 tables are stacked up like pyramids.
Absolutely not. Unsubscribe. Nope. I'm ditching. I'm quitting that job. I'll tell you what. That job is done.
So he's freaking out, right? And he's like, I can't leave it like this because it's my job to push it in.
Yes, he can. Because he's quitting.
So what he does is he takes everything and puts it back down. And he goes downstairs and he's like freaking out. He's like, guys, like, all right, which one of you guys are messing with me? Like, they were all stacked up. And he's like, no one's been up there. He's like, no, seriously, like, who actually did it? And he was like, we swear, guy, like, everyone's been down here. And he was like, that is the most messed up thing. And he didn't even, like, tell him about it after. Because he was just like, he didn't want people to think he was nuts. Because, like, no one would have believed him unless he, like, left it up. And I bet you if he went back up there with people, they all would have been normal again. But more than likely. Yeah. So, and there's actually another one, too. So, there was an electrician who was just working on, like, one of the old, like, it's where they keep all the just like really old books, and they keep it in like this controlled area. Yeah. So they're in this area, so no one's walking around. Like, you can't like access this as like a normal person. So he's fixing a light in this controlled room, and he just sees like this old lady. Oh my God. Like floating around and going right past him, not saying a word. And like he like looked at her.
This is like the opening scene to Ghostbusters. Yeah.
And like this guy like had like a bunch of tools with him. He dropped everything and just ran out the room. Like what, and came out white as a ghost. He like the way he described it was like it was like looking at a person that was just like just gas. It was like the craziest thing. He was like, I've never believed in ghosts before, and like he was like, I actually saw one for myself.
Wow.
So that's all I got.
Those are good. Those are good.
Those were good. She definitely was like the old librarian there.
She
something.
was the old librarian for sure. And that's more poltergeist stuff. That's how poltergeist, like, when she first discovers the kitchen, like, all the chairs are stacked in a pyramid.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Those are nuts. Ooh, the one light, I'd be like running, like you know, how, like in your basement, you like turn off the light and run.
There's a great TikTok that's like the basement demon. As soon as I turn out the light, and it's like
run upstairs to go to bed.
Yeah, because my house in Southie and then Dorchester growing up, like we had creepy basements.
We need the multiple Ouija board story. You need to talk to.
Well, I need to talk to my aunt.
And
because
where did they go?
Where did they go? Because they were definitely around when Jess and I were kids. You know what? I'm seeing Jess.
Oh yeah,
on Friday. Because I know Jess knows about the Ouija boards.
My sister has a crazy story. I'm gonna have to get her take on it because I was too young. But my sister and my mom saw the same thing in our house, and to the point where we had some like. People over the house, and they pulled my sister and my mother into different rooms, and they described the same exact thing.
Oh my god!
So I'll get the full story from her because the people in the house, my house, were like, okay, this is so messed up.
Maybe on weeks where we don't have a Jess question, we
share
tell like a little side spooky story.
I got some shit
because I don't think we shared the one from your bachelorette party either. The kitchen? The scary kitchen?
That's all you.
I know. I don't want to tell it now. We'll tell it another time.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey.
Let's keep going.
It's your week for spooky stories.
Got something for you. All right.
I'm ready. If it's a doll.
It's not a doll.
All right.
I'm not going to do back-to-back dolls.
I'm sure there's enough dolls that you can do back-to-back dolls.
I know, but you sprinkle them in.
What's the little meme? It's like little sprinkle.
That salt guy. Yeah, I got another one, but he seems a little too freaky. I gotta figure that out. All right. So we're going to Wisconsin.
Oh, don't do that. Because now I'm just gonna want to do the accent.
So I think it's called Horicon, Wisconsin.
Okay.
But it looks like Horicon, and I love that.
Can we just call it
Horicon?
Can I see how it's spelled? Oh, yeah. Probably like Horicon.
But
let's call it Horicon.
I like Horicon. So it's the Tallman House, or better known as the Haunted Bunk Bed Case.
Ooh.
This is nuts.
Okay.
So I will mention at the top that the family in this story is very private about what happened to them. They never put their faces out there. They never wanted book deals or movie deals. It's said that they might have given fake names. They never used their children's names. They do eventually speak to the press, which I'll talk about. They also did have their very own Unsolved Mysteries episode.
Ooh. New or old?
Oh, old.
Classic
yeah.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Classic Unsolved.
Okay.
Even in that episode, Alan and Debbie, the parents, have their faces blacked out.
Okay.
And another odd thing about this episode that they had, it was a very popular episode, but when things transfer to like DVDs or streaming or something, the episode is lost.
Interesting.
It's gone.
Okay.
No one really knows why, but maybe the family had like a certain deal or whatever because they're so like really not wanting to talk about it too much. But I did find it on YouTube.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, good.
And I did watch it.
All right. Okay.
All right. Here we go. 32-year-old Alan and Debbie Tallman, a married couple who at the time of the story had 3 children, an older son and 2 young daughters, and Debbie was pregnant with their 4th child. Alan was a working class gentleman working at a local factory. He worked really long shifts, sometimes getting home around 2 or 3 a.m. So pulling those hours, obviously Debbie stayed at home with the children and provided them with a loving, happy little life.
Oh.
The problem with the current house they were in was it was getting a little too cramped, and with another baby on the way, they decided it was time to upgrade. So they went to Horicon, Wisconsin.
Horicon. Oh, where do you live? Oh, Horicon, Wisconsin. Okay, thanks.
It's a quiet working class town that seemed to be safe, peaceful place to raise a family. So when Alan and Debbie first saw the house, they immediately fell in love with it. It was a charming one-story ranch, and they could immediately picture themselves living there. So in April of 1986, they purchased the home on Larrabee Street. Now I'm going to point out something right away. We've all heard the story, right? Family moves into a house.
Mhm.
House is already haunted.
Whoops.
End of story.
Yep.
Not in this case.
Not end of story.
Not in this case. This house is only 2 years old when they bought it.
Oh, the land, honey, the land.
Honey. And before anyone says, well, maybe it's the land.
It's not the
Honey,
land.
no.
It's the bunk beds
These-
referenced at the beginning.
These homes were built on purchased lots in a very cookie cutter neighborhood. So they weren't some abandoned asylum sitting there before, no cemeteries, no battlefield, cursed battlefields.
This is new territory for us.
Nothing. I know.
Yeah. They did not remove inner person.
They did not remove any inner person. So the family who
Wow.
lived there before the 2 years ago
Yeah.
had it's brand new. They built it
No
on
problem
this
in
land.
Horicon.
No problem. And no no neighbor, anything had mentioned any strange activity going on. So for the first few months, they are happy as can be. Alan's doing a little fixing up around the house, painting, decorating, adding furniture. They saw this bunk bed at a secondhand furniture place for like $100. So they're like, we're going to buy it. Thinking that the girls are getting a little older. So it'd be good for them to be in like the big girl bed. And that way they can use the crib for the new coming baby. So Alan put the bunk bed in the basement and was refurbishing it up a little bit. So that is when this beautiful house with light energy turned dark and heavy.
Because you can't refurbish demons.
It started with strange sounds of doors opening and closing, which were happening sparingly, so they kind of brushed it off. When Alan was painting the bunk beds one night, he was called up for dinner. Alan said he remembered putting the lid back on the paint can and the brush on the table because he was going to come right back down after dinner to paint. But when he returned, he was confused at what he saw. The paint can lid was off and the paintbrush was in the paint handle down.
I'd be so mad.
I'd be like, oh, that's
Come on.
But he also brushed this off, thinking he was rushed upstairs or he was tired and he made a misstep.
Yeah.
So once the bed was finished, Alan brought the girls down to the basement to test it and make sure it was stable enough before bringing it upstairs. All went well and the bed went upstairs that night. That's when things started heating up a little bit. Over the next 9 months, this family will be haunted and harassed by whatever this thing and entity is. So the bed goes upstairs, and the girls are excited for their new bed. Alan and Debbie tuck them in, say goodnight. They go next door to their son's room, say goodnight. And 3 things happen that night pretty much simultaneously. The youngest daughter, excuse me, I don't know where my voice is going.
Have some wine.
The youngest daughter wakes up because she felt like someone was sitting on the end of her bed. And when she looked, no one was there.
Yep.
Next door, in the brother's room, he was awakened by his radio turning on by itself. And he sees that the dials are being turned on the radio. And just across the hall in Debbie and Alan's room, Alan is woken up to someone whispering his name. He brushes it off as well, thinking that it was some sort of dream state when he heard his name. And then when he fully awakes, he hears that his daughter's crying. So thinking that she's having trouble in her new bed, he goes to check on her, gets her settled, and gets everyone back to bed. The next morning, the son's like, so someone was messing with my radio last night. It was turning itself on. They also ignored that, which that one I would pause on that one. And I'd be like, oh, interesting.
I don't know, man. I think when you have 4 kids, you're like, good one.
Sure.
But you don't sleep. You're waking up. You've been up at the factory
Till 3 a.m.
Lord knows
That is
how
the
long.
witching hour, my friend.
Oh, my God. You're getting home right when the demons are waking up.
Yeah, exactly. But this next one is a little too hard to brush off. So the next night, the daughter is unsure about sleeping in the bed. Thinking that it's just an adjustment period. Debbie and Alan are like, it's okay, you'll get used to it. So they get everyone to sleep. Alan again is awoken by his name being whispered. Thinking it was a dream again, he shakes it off, gets up, and gets some water. When he's walking through the living room, he hears his name again. It sounds like it's coming from the garage, which is attached to the house. So he goes in there and checks. Nothing. So when he walks back to his bed, he passes his daughter's room, and he feels this cold spot in front of their door. So he's like freezing.
Goodbye.
He's like, oh,
Goodbye, everyone.
drafty brand new house must be, and goes back to bed. Not a few hours later is he woken up by his daughter crying again. This time she sounds terrified. So he runs to check on her. She tells him that the door was opening and closing by itself. So after the second night, the whole family started hearing their names being whispered. So now everyone in the house is hearing their names. Things are now escalating because now the daughter is having nightmares and visions. One night she woke up and saw a woman with long dark hair standing in the room. The woman had glowing red eyes and an evil smile, and she seemed to be standing in fire.
Oh, no.
She told her parents that there was a witch standing in fire in her room. She's like a little baby. She's supposed to be horrified.
Horrible.
I was like,
There was
oh my
a
God.
witch burning at the stake.
stake in my room. They tell her she's having a bad dream, everything's okay, and go back to sleep. They, of course, didn't want to believe that this was actually
we'll
happening.
take you to therapy in the morning.
Yeah, and they didn't want to upset her more, so they just were like, no, night.
Yeah.
So Debbie and Alan kept this story to themselves. They did not tell the son. They did not tell anybody else. So they chalked it up to just a child's nightmare.
What year is this?
86.
Mm.
A couple months later, when they stopped ignoring all these stories and signs, they stopped ignoring all the stories and signs because the son came to them and said, in the middle of the night, I saw a woman standing in fire in my room. He didn't know his sisters had said the same thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe he'd heard them. I don't know. But they said that he didn't know the story. So the parents were like, okay.
Oh, because we're going to believe the boy?
They're like, no, okay, maybe this is happening. Maybe we're being haunted. So now this is like out there. The spirit and entity, what have you, is like, hell yeah. Because it's like, give me the acknowledgement.
Yep.
So furniture starts shaking. The bunk bed would move on its own. Everyone started seeing full body apparitions in the house in the corner of their eyes. Doors, including the garage door, would open and close by itself. This witch woman started appearing to the daughter every night, leading
On
Alan.
fire every time?
Yeah. I didn't really specify.
Oh.
Could you imagine? Probably. Actually, it might be.
I can't imagine that some days you're on fire and some days you're not.
So Alan, this caused Alan to sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
Can we turn that light on? Sorry. I just realized that's getting.
Oh, yeah. John, can you turn
Do you
that
mind?
light on?
Thank
you.
This wasn't just occurring for the Talman family. Extended family and neighbors would experience things as well when they came over.
Thank you.
So they called the pastor over to do a blessing on the house. So he comes in. He's like, yep, you got a case of the devil on your hands. So let me clean this up for you and you'll be all right. Well, it didn't work.
Nope.
In fact, it made it worse. So one night, Alan went to the doctor's because he was sick with a sinus infection. I'm like, we went to the like the hospital for this? It's like, all right. So Debbie had Alan's mom come and stay.
I mean,
help
I
her.
just went to the doctor for what turned out to be
I meant to say he went
cold.
he went to the hospital, not the
okay.
doctor's. So Debbie's had Alan's mom come over to stay and help her with the kids. According to Alan's mom, she woke up from a little naparoo and she saw the pair of red eyes looking at her. After that moment, everyone started seeing the eyes staring and watching them all over the house. So for months this went on. The whispering names, the red eyes, this little witch woman appearing. It was exhausting and horrifying. So Alan was like, this is bull. I'm sick of this. And it's impacting everyone's health. Everyone's getting sick.
Yeah.
Like the second they moved in there, like, I don't know if I mentioned this. The second they moved in there, the kids were getting sick all the time.
Oh, no. Oh. I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Seriously. Impacting everyone's health and emotions. So he starts freaking out and screaming into the air to this entity. He's like, leave my kids alone. Pick on me. So the entity's like, cool, say less.
Oh, no.
So on the night of January 7th, 1988, Alan got home around 2 a.m. He parked his car in the driveway, walks into the house with his little lunch bag, and he starts hearing a sound of like a strong wind of a tornado. And he's like, what is going on? So he walks back towards the garage, and he starts to hear his name being whispered. It sounded like it was coming from inside the garage, so he goes around to the side of the house, and he's like, hello? Which I'm like, well, Alan, why are you surprised? He hears his name again, and it says, come here.
And he did?
And he did. So he gets closer to the garage and sees the glowing red eyes in the window. And then all of a sudden it turns into fire, making it look like his whole garage is ablaze. So he's so freaked out that he runs in the house and like drops his lunch bag on the ground. And he's like, holy shit. He's like, wait, is my garage like actually on fire? So he goes to pick up his lunch bag from the ground. And just as he grabs the bag, it launches itself across the room.
Mm.
So as I mentioned, Alan is sleeping on the floor of his daughter's floor pretty much all the time now. So he starts noticing a little mist that would form in the corner of the room. And every night it would get closer and closer.
No.
One night, this blob, which I assumed to be the entity, whispers clear as day to Alan, "You're dead."
Oh, God. That actually really scared me.
He freaks out and runs out of the room, causing such a scene that Debbie wakes up and is like, what is happening? So the next day they call the pastor again to come back because he did such a great job.
I would call a different pastor.
I was like,
this point, I'm
brother.
calling a witch doctor. I'm calling, picking other religions.
Why are we calling this man back? They're like, we need another blessing of the house, my guy. And so he does a blessing, and again, it does not help. Because the next night, Alan is woken up by the sounds of chanting, and when he opens his eyes, there was a glowing light coming from the bunk bed, and then it turned into a fire where his daughters are sleeping, so he jumps up to get the extinguisher, and it disappears.
Yeah.
At this point, if not already...
Alan is not very smart.
No.
I don't feel safe with Alan.
He runs away
there.
from fire. Like, if my children are in a bunk bed and it looks like it's on fire, if it's not or it is, you take the children first.
Well, but also, that's for a regular fire. If you know there's a witch on fire in your house every night, I'd be like, girl, go to bed.
The witch?
Yes.
No, he said, come fuck with me. And she said, yes.
Yeah, but I would know that the fire wasn't real.
I think it's still freaky.
Yeah, it would still be freaky.
Oh, you going to roll over, Janice? I'm like, no.
I'd be like, leave me alone. I would not. I'd sell this place.
Yeah. So at this point, if not already, as I said, everyone's exhausted. Alan's still working his crazy hours. Debbie's at home with the extended family trying to help out with the kids. And then they had one night they had a family member who was like, pish posh to your stories, whatever. I'll stay over.
Yeah.
So he puts the girls to bed and he sleeps on the floor. That night he wakes up to a horrific figure materializing in the bedroom. And this one had to have been way more threatening because on the night of January 11th, 1988, Debbie had had enough and packed everyone up to get them out of there. So as I mentioned before, this family is pretty private, even with this story, but rumors started circulating around the neighborhood the week that they fled. So people were saying that there were tales of bleeding walls in the house, a hole to hell in the basement, a ghost in the snowblower. I'm like, I would respect the ghost in the snowblower.
Yeah.
I'd be like, go ahead.
Be like, go ahead, clean the snow.
Clean the snow. All this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So it caused people and cars and people like cutting through neighborhoods, flooding Larrabee Street, right? So because of this, the family ends up sitting down with the local sheriff. After hearing their accounts of the events over the last 9 months, he became convinced of their sincerity. And at his request, they eventually shared details of the experience with a few select members of the press who were not seeking to like sensationalize their story and promised to protect their identities. But the sheriff hoped that the truth would kind of like quell the hysteria going on around town. So at some point, the family brought in some paranormal investigators, finally, some other religious figures to take a look around. One investigator became convinced that it was the bunk beds causing all of this, so Debbie and Alan removed the bed. It had been taken to a private landfill and destroyed and buried. Debbie was quoted as saying, "The bed was buried in a landfill where no one will ever find it or build over it." And that's all she said. She said because she didn't want anyone to go look for it. Excuse me. The Talmans eventually found a new home, and in an article from February 1988, Debbie said that it was going to take a long time for things to go back to normal, and that she still can't sit alone at night. And they have not had a haunted experience ever since.
Wow. And no one ever burned the bed?
They just.
Did I miss that? Did I miss
Hello?
that part? Sorry. Say that again.
She said that they took it to a private landfill. It was destroyed and buried.
Yes.
But she said they didn't tell anyone where it was
That's
because
right.
they didn't want anyone to go find it or build over it to
Yes.
like cause a haunted house.
Sorry, I think I was just thinking of a witch on fire. And like, what would I do?
So that's the tale of the
That's a
haunted bunk bed.
wild story.
It was like a good story and a lot of information, but because they were so secretive of it,
yeah.
the ending, I'm like, I don't know how exactly they found out how
Right.
like it was the bunk bed, but a resource said like they called in other people.
Yeah.
So I believe that. And someone was probably like, yo, this is like whoa.
And especially if they were so private, why would they make it up?
Well,
Like they're hiding their identity.
That's why I'm like, I'm full with this family. I fully believe this happened
Right.
because like as you know, I love my Warrens, but
Mhm.
some of those stories were for like book deals and movie deals and stuff like
Yes.
that. They were, and I'm surprised they did Unsolved Mysteries, but like I said, they were,
Right.
you can't see their faces.
Like, what's the one you did? Like the poltergeist of, was it Enfield?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like you went back and forth. You're like, part of me believes this, part of
Mhm.
me doesn't.
Yeah.
And like when you're like spouting that this is what's happening,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, well, are you really a trustworthy source?
Yeah. Well, they're like, these things were flying around the room and I missed the photo. I'm like,
Yeah.
But this just seems.
Yeah. I think especially when you want to protect your identity, that adds more validity,
Yeah.
I think, to
Mhm.
what you're saying.
Mhm.
Like, I don't want to tell you who I am, but here's what happened in this house.
Yeah. So crazy.
That's a wild ride.
I know. I'm like, well, I guess I'll never Facebook Marketplace again. Jesus.
Well, I mean, the people alone on Facebook
Oh yeah,
Marketplace
it's
are
just not a
enough
good.
to
I
just
don't.
keep
I
you
really
away
don't
from
do
it.
that. But
Whether or not the item is haunted, the people are nightmares. So
true.
just stay away.
As I was like researching this, and they're like this long, dark-haired woman. I was like, oh my god, me?
Is it? Am I
is
the
it
one
me,
on
Jesus?
fire? Oh my god! Am I the drama? I can't be the drama.
I don't know.
Are you the one on fire in these children's bedroom?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Are you the Mist?
I
You
would
love that
not.
movie. John loves that
John loves The
movie.
Mist.
He says it's the best movie ever. Well, to the next section, we decided to give our movie deaths a theme. And so we're doing most shocking movie death. And mine that I picked was less shocking that the character died and more in like what happens in the moment. So my film is, and I love calling bad movies a film.
The quality film.
A film, if you will. The classic film Deep Blue Sea.
Ah, yes.
And I'd like to talk to you about Samuel L. Jackson's death. And Samuel L. Jackson his character's name is Russell Franklin. So have you seen Deep Blue Sea?
I sure have.
Okay.
LL Cool J is in an oven, I believe.
He is, because he's the chef.
Sure.
So the basic premise of Deep Blue Sea is they have an offshore science lab where they're trying to solve Alzheimer's by experimenting on mako sharks.
Right.
There's controversy at the beginning because one of these sharks escapes and kills 4 teens who are on a nearby boat, because I guess teens are where this offshore science lab would be, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Okay.
And so Russell Franklin, Samuel L. Jackson, works in the corporate office, and so he needs to now go investigate what's happening. And it turns out that in order to be able to test these sharks for Alzheimer's, they had to enlarge their brains,
Right.
thus making them genius-killing machines.
Of course.
So, of course, like chaos ensues. the sharks manage to break the glass and they get into the lab. So now we're in this water lab trying to escape. And they were trying to escape in this like little portal that they could zoop out in. It was zoop.
I'm trying to remember this movie.
It was like a little submarine thing, but the sharks destroyed the submarine. So they're all like, well, all right, we're going to climb up this elevator shaft. We're going to destroy these sharks. And Samuel L. Jackson is like, hold on. And he's like, he says, quite possibly the best line I think I've ever heard. And he goes, you think water is fast? You should see ice. And I was like,
What?
What does that line mean?
What?
And then he starts telling a story about how he got caught in an avalanche with like 6 other people.
This is super important right now,
It's super important. And he's like telling this whole thing. But you also want to be like, well, an avalanche is from snow, not ice. So, and also, I still think water is faster than snow. But
I mean, this quality film got something wrong.
Oh, God. And so he's like giving this speech and he's like, you think that he's like, 7 of us went into the avalanche surviving, but only 5 made it out because man killed each other. And he's giving this whole speech and you don't really know where it's going. And he's like, so we have to band together. And then while he's saying this, there's this tiny little pool into the ocean. This shark jumps out, grabs him,
Yep.
pulls him back in, and now Samuel L. Jackson is gone.
He gone.
And at that moment, I remember watching it being like, holy crap, this shark he leapt
Popped
out
up.
of the water he did not want to hear about that avalanche for 1 second more.
He said enough.
And he's like, and then it shows them, they scoop him under the water, and it's like one of the other sharks eats half of him too. And
Oh, God.
great movie. Great movie.
Oh.
10 out of 10.
Oh, I guess
What?
never mind. I was going to say, we didn't rate if we would go to my story, but we can't really.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of not that vibe. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that. Well, if we ever found the bunk bed, would you
No.
go? No. 0 out of 10.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump on your story.
No, that's okay. I was done with my death, so it's time for yours.
Oh, okay. I burn after reading.
I've never seen it. I've heard it's really good. I've heard I would like it.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm doing Brad Pitt's character, Chad Feldheimer, I think. And Linda is another character played by Frances McDormand. So these two are gym employees, and they're just idiots. And they accidentally somehow get a hold of a disc or a file or something with the CIA analysis memories on it. And they assume it contains some like pretty sensitive stuff. So they try to sell it to the Russians. You know, super casual.
Soup's cash. Where do you even find the right Russians to sell it to?
They did, I guess.
Okay.
Facebook
Marketplace?
Yes. On the bunk beds.
Yeah.
So, you know, stuff's happening. And so Brad Pitt sneaks into the CIA analysis house, who is Osborne Cox, played by John Malkovich, which that is the guy they stole the files from.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I'm going to go break in and get more, see what I can get. Right.
Oh.
So it turns out Osborne does not live there anymore.
Uh-oh.
And his wife lives there with her now current beau. His name is Harry, played by George Clooney.
Oh.
So Harry comes back from more work out in the house, and Chad's like, oh, shit. So he runs upstairs and hides in a closet. So Harry's like getting, ready out of his workout clothes and whatever. And he's like, Brad Pitt's like, oh, sweet. Like, I think I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turns and looks to the corner, and there's a gun holster, and there's no gun in the holster. And he's like, oh, shit.
Oh.
So George Clooney opens the closet, and Brad Pitt's face in this moment, he's got the cheesiest, biggest smile, being like, I know, right? Like, this is crazy, right?
Okay.
And George Clooney immediately goes, like, freaks out and just shoots him right in the head. He just goes, that's it. Done. Brad Pitt is no more. And George Clooney runs out in the hallway and runs downstairs, grabs a knife to come back upstairs and make sure he's like, who the hell is in my closet? But it's just
Why does he run to get a knife when he already has the gun?
I think he was just like so freaked out that someone was in his closet,
Yeah.
and I don't know if he knew or if he got him or what. So he runs downstairs, grabs a knife, comes back up, and Brad Pitt's just on the floor. But it's his face when he opens the closet door, and he's like, I know, like this is so crazy.
I need to watch this.
It's good.
Okay.
So spoiler alert on that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Because it's the
Coen brothers.
the Coen brothers.
Yeah.
I wanted to say the Farrelly brothers. I'm like, they do comedy.
Yeah.
It's not them. A lot of bros out there making movies.
Yeah. Well,
hey.
if you like what you heard or saw, I guess, on YouTube,
Heyo.
give us a little follow. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Haunted by Pod.
Mm-hmm.
Where else? You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and again, watch us on YouTube.
Give us a little like.
Give us a little likey.
a little boop.
Yeah, a little boop,
Little
boop.
boop boop.
Where you listen and watch, that would be super helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't think I'm gonna Facebook Marketplace.
No, you shouldn't anyway. Before or after.
I mean, I think
Ghosts.
we've talked about this. I did it a while ago. I'm not. No, and maybe no more secondhand furniture
Nope.
for me.
Nope. Buy new, everybody.
Yeah. So sweet dreams, my friend.
Happy nightmares.
Goodbye.
Bye.